friends, my name is Mailynn and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist, performer, and music teacher located in the city of Kamloops, British Columbia, and this is my channel where we learn all things flute, so thank you so much for joining me here today. In today's video, we're going to be doing another Christmas classic, and this one is Silent Night. So if you're interested, then let's keep on watching. If you have any questions throughout the video, please feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I do my best to answer them as soon as I see them. Also, if you have any issues when it comes to practicing, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. It gives you 8 really easy steps to follow to help guide your practice sessions. Alright, so let's just get right into today's video. So as I mentioned earlier, we will be learning Silent Night. I am taking this transcription from 8notes.com, so if you're interested in playing this along with a piano accompaniment, there is a link in the description down below. Again, this is not sponsored or anything. I do just really like their selection for pieces, and again, this is free as well, so you should have no problem downloading it and printing it out so you can follow along. I will be putting up my own transcription here of the flute part so that it's easier to read, and then we'll go through our 6 starter bits before we do our clapping count and then finally playing the piece on the flute. So I'm going to put up my transcription right over here. So we're going to be looking at our first 6 starter bits, as I mentioned previously, before we get into clapping. So our number 1 is going to be our key signature. So we're going to take a look between the treble clef and our time signature to see if we have any accidentals there, and we don't. So that means we can either be in C major or A minor. So we're going to take a look at the first note and the last note to see if we have any indication if we are playing the tonic, which is the first note of the major or minor scale. So we don't start on the tonic of the major scale, however we do end on it, so that highly indicates that we might be in the C major key signature. We're going to check to see though if we do have any indication of the minor key. So how you find the minor key is you can either go up 6 letter names or you go down 3 letter names. So I like to go down 3. So C, B, A. So that means A minor is the relative minor. The best way to look for any indications of the minor key would be either the raised 6th or 7th, but primarily the raised 7th. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down 1 semitone. So if you're looking at that on a keyboard, you go down 1 key, and that would be G sharp. So we're going to see if any of those G's are sharp here. And at a quick glance, I don't see any. So I would say we are in C major, which we are. Number 2, we're going to be looking at our time signature. So here we are in 6/8 time. So this one's a little bit more tricky, and it is a compound time compared to our simple times, which usually you're reading in 3/4, 4/4, or 2/4. So the top number always tells us how many beats we have per measure. In this one, we have 6 beats per measure, and they're divided into groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. That's always how you'll see the notes divided there. And the bottom number tells us what note type those beats are. So we have an 8, and an 8 is really easy to remember because it represents an 8th note. So we have 6 8th notes per measure. So when we are clapping and counting this, I'm going to make sure that we have the metronome counting each 8th note so it's easy for you to clap along. Number 3, we're going to be looking at our tempo indication. So we don't have anything written above the piece here for a tempo. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be counting every 8th note is 80. That's the easiest way for us to kind of figure out what the tempo marking is. If you find that this is too fast when we end up clapping and counting, you can always go back into the playback settings and slow it down until you can clap it without making any mistakes, and then slowly increasing the speed until you are at the final tempo. Or if you want to play it a little bit faster, you can also speed up the video as well in order to get it at the tempo that you want to play it at. Number 4, we're going to be looking at our dynamics. So we don't have anything written here in the piece, so I would say to play anywhere between a mezzo forte and a forte. So that means moderately loud to loud. Essentially, you're going to be focusing on getting the most beautiful, clear sound that you can. If you want to experiment with dynamics throughout the piece when you feel more comfortable with the notes, then I would highly recommend doing that and pending in your own dynamics. Number 5, we're going to be looking at our articulation. So we're going to see if you have any slurs, staccatos, marcatos, anything like that. And I don't see anything throughout the piece, so that means every time you play a note, we're going to have a nice gentle ha in order to have a nice support there. So nice breath support, and a gentle ta to make sure that the beginning of the notes are nice and clear. Number 6, we're going to be looking at our roadmap. So we're going to see if we have any repeats or da capos, and at a quick glance, we don't have anything, so we're just going to be reading it from top to bottom. Alright, so now we're going to get into clapping and counting the piece. So remember, every time you hear the metronome click, that's going to be 1 beat or 1/8 note. Make sure that if you're not sure about the rhythm of the dotted 8th and 16th that you write it in. So at the beginning there, the first beat, I'll give you the counting. So it would be 1 and 2 and. So you're going to have 1 and 2 in that dotted eighth note, and then the and of 2 is going to go above the 16th. So that's the easiest way to count it. Otherwise, if you're not sure, feel free to write in all of the counting before we get into clapping in the piece. All right, so now we're going to clap the piece. So it's going to be, again, an eighth note equals 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, very nice. So now that we have clapped it, I'm going to play it on the flute again, same tempo as clapped. And of course, if you're not sure about any of the note names before we play, make sure that you write them in with pencil above the note heads. You can either do it on top of the stack or below it, whatever works best for you. And just make sure that you have a nice, beautiful support. And then the last note's going to be the trickiest. Make sure that if you're not sure about that low C, that you check the fingering in the finger chart I have in the description of every single one of my videos to make sure you get it right. My recommendation for the low notes is that you play them with no pressure, no tension in your embouchure. Think of nice hot air. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be it. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comment section down below. Also, if you're having issues when it comes to practicing, check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. Make sure that you like this video if you liked it, and also to subscribe for videos just like this. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. And as always, happy fluting!